1. William Shakespeare. A name almost synonymous to literature, William Shakespeare tops our list of the best-selling authors of all time. A dramatist whose plays are still in vogue and a poet whose lines hold well till date, he earned unbound fame posthumously and is even addressed as the national poet of England. Although a perfect amount of sales of his literary pieces is not possible, an approximation says that he has 2 to 4 billion copies sold till date, which is still on the rise. 2. Agatha Christie. With an estimated sale ranging between 2 to 4 billion, the Guinness Book of World Records has named her as the best-selling novelist of all time. This famed suspense thriller writer has 14 short story collection and 66 novels to her credit with complex plots and storylines. However, this writer also wrote in a lighter vein, dabbling with the theme of love, and inked 6 romantic novels, but these novels carry her pen name Mary Westmacott. Her most renowned novel is And Then There Were None, which sold more than 100 million copies, becoming the world's best-selling mystery ever. 3. Barbara Cartland. One of the most prolific novelists of the 20th century, Barbara Cartland made a place in the Guinness World Records for penning the most number of novels during the year 1976. All her 723 novels belong to the romance novel genre and have sold around 500 million to 1 billion copies as estimated, and have been translated into more than 30 languages. 4. Danielle Steel. This American novelist has published 120 novels till date, which have sold around 800 million units, making her the 4th best-selling author of all time and the best-selling author alive. Her novels have enjoyed the status of being bestsellers, and her most recent books include Prodigal Son and Undercover. Her books had 22 television adaptations and have been translated into 28 different languages. This fiction writer has also inked poetry and children's stories. 5. Harold Robbins. Author of more than 25 best-selling novels, Harold Robbins' novels have been translated into 32 different languages. With only around 25 novels, he rose to be a best-selling author with an estimated 750 million units being grabbed off the shelves of bookstores. He coupled his experiences with his creativity to combine adventurous novels, which placed him in the 5th position in this list of 20 best-selling authors of all time. 6. Georges Simenon. The author whose pen created the well-known detective Jules Maigret, this Belgian writer has about 570 books under his name, which include novels, autobiographical works and some short works as well. He was a prolific writer for his detective series, which began with the novel Pitre Lilliton in 1931 and continued to allure readers till the last book in this series, Maigret et M. Charles, had hit the shelves in 1972. He originally wrote in French, and his books have been translated into almost all major languages. 7. Sidney Sheldon. Sheldon began his career as a scriptwriter and worked with Hollywood as well as television. However, he tasted success when he put his creativity in writing novels. This was not until he was 50, and with only 21 books his name spread far and wide. His books are complex, full of suspense, and have sold between 370 million to 600 million copies till date. 8. Enid Blyton. Enid Mary Blyton has been one of the most prolific writers existing in the early 1990s. Her published works amount up to 800 books, which collectively have sold around 600 million copies. She has written extensively for the children, and her most renowned works are The Famous 5, Naughty, and The Secret 7. 9. Dr. Seuss. Theodore Seuss, better known by his pen name Dr. Seuss, mostly wrote children's books, and his works have been translated into about 20 languages. This American writer's books sum up to around 44, and the estimated sale of these amount to 500 million. A striking feature of his writing is that he used a poetic meter known as the anapaestic tetrameter, which enriched his writing even more. 10. Gilbert Patten. William George Gilbert Patten wrote under several pen names such as Bert L. Standish, Emerson Bell, Wyoming Bill, Gordon Braddock and Morgan Scott. He is the author of Frank Burwell series and has written more than 200 books in his career. According to sources, his books have reached sales of 450 million, earning him an exclusive place in the list of best-selling authors. 11. J K Rowling. J K Rowling, a household name, is the creator of the magical world of Harry Potter. The fantasy world which germinated from this creative genius has captured the minds of readers all across the globe with its vivid details and compelling storylines. The loquacious writer has penned 11 books, of which the Harry Potter series consists of 7 books and one which she wrote under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith. The estimated sales of her books range between 350 million to 450 million, thus making her the 11th best-selling author of all time. 12. Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy is one of the most accomplished authors of the literary world. This Russian writer has presented the world of literature with gems like War and Peace and Anna Karenina. He inked 48 books which sold around 413 million units, rendering him as one of the best-selling authors of all time. 13. CorínTellado. CorínTellado reigned the bookstores and shelves as almost all her literary pieces turned out to be bestsellers in Spanish-spoken countries. She penned an enormous number of books which are romantic novels or photo novels. The Guinness World Record mentions her name as the author whose books sold the maximum amount of copies written in Spanish. Globally, the sales of her books amount up to 400 million units. 14. Jackie Collins. Jackie Collins is an English novelist who wrote about 25 books, and beginning from her first novel The World is Full of Married Men, almost all her novels ruled the market and readers' heart, becoming bestsellers and in turn making her one of the best-selling authors till date. 15. Horatio Alger, Jr. This American novelist mostly wrote young adult fictions wherein highlighted qualities such as honesty, willpower and hard work, and showed how these morally abiding protagonists rose from rags to riches. His books, which are 135 in number, have sold in between 200 million to 400 million copies.